Yeah?
I think I'm live.
Are we live?
Are we live?
We're
Hello,
not live.
hello. Well, there's a delay, so it'll take them a second.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just refreshing it saying waiting for discovering SCP. We are not live.
I hit go live. It says we're live.
Okay.
Oh, maybe
Oh,
it
yeah,
doesn't.
we're live now. We're live now.
Oh, maybe it didn't start till 12 because it was scheduled.
Right.
Can you see the Google on screen? Because I'm not seeing.
I can.
Yeah.
They can hear us. They can see us.
Well. Welcome to WriterBotFestFestivalCelebrationCon2024. We're
Thinks
only
is worried about the forest, I think.
4 writers and what?
Thinks is worried about the forest.
Oh shit, Mine Forest? What's that?
Yeah.
What's a
You know, like
forest?
the woods, like, you know, it's part of the landscape. It's very...
Oh, Mine
very
First.
important.
Shut up, Dan. 4 contestants sent us their drafts. Thank you, JT, by the way, for sending us a last-minute draft. Only one will leave the winner. Just kidding. I'm gonna quit them all. Tan, how are you feeling?
MasterChef. I've been watching a lot of MasterChef recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen MasterChef Junior?
No.
I can't watch it because at first it's like, oh, look, the kids are cooking. Then it's like, oh, this 10-year-old is more skilled than I will ever be at food. It's really funny.
Just use Uber Eats, 5head.
It's the most depressing thing you've ever said to me. Tell me that's not how you view the world.
What do you mean? Like
Like you think Uber Eats is the same as like a professionally cooked meal?
Of course not. Well, yeah, of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
Anyway,
grabbing you.
welcome everybody. I see many familiar names in the chat. Lon Lang, long time no see. Equare, Tings, Quaker, Daniel Zachheim, of course. Our buddy Crowcat, Good Day, Zen Baker, welcome Zen.
All the greats.
All the greats.
Wow.
All the classic DSCP hits. So, first up today, we have Wendigo's submission. Or Tanks, depending on who you ask.
Who are you asking, Nick?
I'm asking you, yeah. Choose.
Tinks, then.
Yeah. Holy shit, Hamilton!
Oh my god, we got Hamilton?
This is like when a celebrity comes in. I reacted more
It's
to
like
him.
in MasterChef when they bring in the celebrity chef. Guy who's only ever watched MasterChef.
Yes, this reminds me a little bit of MasterChef.
Do you really think this is good enough for this level of the competition?
Speaking of Gordon Ramsay related shows, actually, is Gordon Ramsay MasterChef?
No, the contestants are competing to become MasterChef. He is merely the one of 3 arbiters.
Okay, so he's one of them. He's one of the judges.
Title. He's not, but he is not a MasterChef.
So, do you know Christina
himself.
from Hell's Kitchen, like season 11, I think?
Christina?
Yeah, she was like
From
the
Hell's
winner.
Kitchen? I don't know her. No, tell me about her.
Oh, never mind. I thought you watched Hell's Kitchen. I was gonna say I'm going to Chicago soon, and there's a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. And the restaurant, there's a restaurant in Chicago ran by one of the Hell's Kitchen winners. It's like from that, and I was gonna try and go there with Crocat and some peeps. That'd be super fun.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, no, you won't. You're not in America.
You're
just a lowly iron. You could never make it across the ocean.
Look on Discord and tell me. Look on the Discover SCP Discord and tell me what my name is and tell me who I am.
I'm going to the Discovering SCP Discord right now. One moment. Your name is Tanhony Gold. Well, hold on. There's some stages to gold. You should know.
True gold.
There's no way. Is that the highest, by the way, or does it go beyond true gold?
It's low gold, high gold, and true gold. So now you know who you're fucking dealing with.
Are there stages beyond true gold?
What would I tell you?
What the fuck? I need to know.
This guy, this is how he consumes fiction. He knows I've read all of these books. And then he reads 2 is like,
well, I've already been faked out once. How many times could they possibly do it?
You're like, what do you think happens next? Well, I meant to focus on because I know what happens next.
The funniest thing would be, finally, after like 8 books, he's like, I did it. I reached low gold. And then they're like, oh, by the way, low gold, high gold, true gold. And then after gold is platinum, and then diamond.
No one knows what the fuck we're talking about.
We're talking about the Cradle book series.
Check it out. Hashtag ad.
But this isn't about MasterChef. This isn't about Cradle. Also, hi, Rexodus. This is about WriterBotFestFestival. If you're not familiar, if this is your first time...
CelebrationCon2024.
Yes. Once a year, we like to ask everybody to send in drafts in both our Discord and the community, and then Tan and I take some time and we crit those, we read them together. This year, we only have 4 submissions, but I'm pretty excited about all of them. I trust all of these writers. I haven't read them. I've only glanced over some of them, so I have the vaguest idea. I don't really know what any of them are about, except one, kind of. But we're going to read them live. Shall we begin?
Absolutely, we shall begin.
So, first one's from Tinks, or Wendigo, as the paper puts it. Wendigo attempts writing. Corey, based on my own
missed
drawing.
the smiley face. Oh, sorry, the smiley face in the title.
Oh, sorry, I didn't read that. Up here it says Wendigo attempts writing. And then it says Wendigo attempts writing Corey, based on my own drawing and masked character. Put a frog into water and slowly turn up the heat. The frog will boil to death. That's so cruel. I would never do that. Why is this a command? No, I won't. I'll never do it. I'm kidding. Demise cause.
You make me want to cry. That's, in my opinion, kind of cruel.
So as a writer, in one sentence, you've already made me feel sad. No.
You've created an emotion. Stephen King compares writing to telepathy, and you've done it.
Put a frog in water and slowly turn up the heat. The frog will boil to death. Demise caused by its inability to notice the gradual change around it. Really, this analogy doesn't factually work. The frog will notice and hop out before the water even gets too close to boiling. It would work if the frog was replaced by a reptile, though. However, that's not the point of the phrase. It's used to convey the idea that even a sentient creature, one highly attuned with its environment and very susceptible to any change, will not notice a deadly change if it happens over a long enough period of time.
I get it.
Humans are very similar. Despite their denial and arguments of being far more intellectually superior to a frog. I love the idea that there's like people in the debate hall. It's like, no, we are smarter than frogs.
There's filthy copper frogs.
72 reasons why we're better than toads.
I hate frogs. They don't have intelligence.
Yeah, the film like cuts to a frog going, ribbit, trying to leap out of the way of a foot. He goes, get out of here, you stupid frog.
It's just like, one day.
You're not welcome in
like
Human
100
Academy.
years later.
100 years later, the giant toad.
In the ruins of New York.
Sacred beast frog. First elder frog son. So used to rapid changes that the slowest ones can cause their demise. Corey hadn't been here long, yet he fitted in seamlessly. It wasn't hard to. They all looked the same, acted the same. Stand at the door, check ID of people entering or leaving. Don't ask any questions. It was almost like a colony. You have the workers, bleak scientists whose faces all blur together. Some he sees again, and some never come back from entering the door. And him, as one of the soldiers. That sentence is a little bit long. I'd try and break it up into 2 sentences.
Slice it in half with dismantle.
Yeah, something like it was almost like a colony, you have workers, bleak scientists whose faces all blur together.
Yeah, maybe it was almost like a colony full stop and then just keep going from there.
Yeah, that works too. Clad in gray armor, matching the gray walls, making his own skin appear tanned in comparison, gray helmets and visors covering the eyes.
Nice Tanhony reference.
The only form of individualism was the red patch on the arm and chest reading, "See Read." This lack of personalization meant to help stop forming attachments. This lack of personalization should be was meant.
Yeah.
Was meant to help stop forming attachments. Something about reducing guilt and mourning, according to his superiors. He didn't care, just needed some bread on the table. And so began the daily routine of stand, check, open door, close door, repeat until clock out. No friendly conversation in between, just mindless, boring, and dehumanizing work. It eventually came to the point... Also, this isn't a correction because you didn't technically do anything grammatically wrong, but there comes a time in your life as an adult when you have to decide if you're going to be a fan of the Oxford comma or not. So you should make a stand here. Are you going to do just mindless, comma, boring, comma, and dehumanizing work? Or are you going to commit to just mindless, comma, boring, and dehumanizing work? Now, do know my...
Well, that's like asking if you'd like to live your life without your arm bones, in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
Personally,
our principle.
I'm the Oxford comma's strongest ally.
No, you're not. I am.
Yeah. How dare you?
We had the left hand and the right hand.
We are the two jades guarding the entrance to the Oxford comma.
You may not enter until you solve our riddles.
This is the tomb of the Oxford comma. Lan says the Oxford comma's OP. That's facts. Anyways,
my path of the Oxford comma will destroy you.
That's our path as writers.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's our specialization. What does that even come with?
I can create a giant comma that attacks you with its tail.
Quaker says Corey's also about to be asked if he wants to live without his arm bones. It eventually came to the point where he was barely present, mind away while his body performed robotically. The most entertaining thing he could do was guess what was behind the door. It was obviously important to have a whole unit dedicated to lining every door that led to it. Aliens? Plausible. Eldritch horrors? Nah, ridiculous. It would be cool if they kept an ancient god in there, though. Corey almost chuckled to himself at the idea. Imagine that, a person unbelieving in any religion guarding the door to an elder god or eldritch being. Minds so far and detached, no one noticed the red that seeped into the floor. It started off small. A sense of belonging, the duty to stand near the door feeling like an actual purpose, guards able to distinguish each other easier, and a new drone in the background. Probably the lights.
Me watching a new Boston Dynamic video, noticing the new robot.
Yet it only continued. Duty fell into a need, like a rope tugging the soul towards the door. Curiosity only grew. I thought it said soil. I'm so fucking sorry. This one begs your forgiveness, Grandmaster.
It's okay, you filthy unsold.
I only have a wooden badge. Don't hurt me. I surrender.
I have a parasite ring. Maybe it'll help you.
Please, Grand Elder, give me the parasite ring. This is now the Cradle stream. I'm so fucking sorry.
You have to read. I do apologize. You all have to start reading Cradle to understand our references for the next 50 episodes.
What DSCP is you have to watch whatever media we have brain rot about, so you can catch up to the joke until the next thing.
I understand what we're talking about, and you can't just wait for the next one because they get mixed together. They fuse the bits.
Just wait till I start combining Cradle with Aetheral Space. It's over.
It's not going to take
long. Duty fell into a need, like a rope tugging the soul towards the door. Curiosity only grew, building and building as it became a secret obsession that everyone carried. I would just do one building here. Some people like to do the repeating the word to build attention, but personally I think here just one building's fine. Curiosity only grew, building as it became a secret obsession that everyone carried. Guards moving more and more in same thing. Guards moving more in sync, becoming one. Because if you do it too many times, it kind of feels like padding it out a little bit, in my opinion. People have different opinions on it, though. I know, Tan, sometimes you like to use the repetition style.
I do, yeah.
But I don't know if it fits here. What's your thoughts?
Let me have a look. Since that's a bit closer. If you're going to do it twice in a row, you might as well do it thrice in a row, is the way I'm seeing it.
Oh my god. Triple down? I don't know.
Yeah, well, if you do it 3 times, it's very obvious that it's intentional and it comes across like a little motif.
Yeah, that's fair. Everything should come in 3s. I don't know where that came from, but it just kind of feels that way.
Feels nice.
Yeah, and if you do more than 3, then you're over. And the drones turned to whispers with no source, speaking words never heard before in a tongue so strange. And continued. Soft whispers grew into demands, shouting words illegible yet understandable. It should probably be inaudible. Illegible is like you can't read the words.
Yeah.
Inaudible is like you can't understand or hear the words. Shouting words illegible yet understandable. Orders that beckoned and called, growing the strongest at the door. Corey fell for the desperation, trying to claim curiosity rather than the unrelenting orders. His hand hovered over the button, staring at it as if it would tell him if this was the right decision or not. Click! And the door opened.
My favorite movie.
And he stepped in, and it was glorious. Ooh, and then we have what I can only assume is the fucked up version of the wall.
It was an Eldritch God.
Oh.
I knew it.
Nah, I'd win. Imagine you see this painting and then you see Musazi's little radiant light up in his hand and you know it's over for this thing.
Yeah, he's got a good history with those sorts of things.
This is Palatine versus Musashi, by the way, if you weren't aware. This is what it looks like.
How it should have gone.
Oh my lord. All right. I like what you're going for. You have a very fun theme that you open up with your quote. You establish that through the story. I feel I want a little bit more from it. I wouldn't go too heavy into prose and wasting and accidentally go into wasting time territory, but I think a little more build up of interactions, because it's very much like a wide camera view. Everything's kind of shortened very quickly.
Yeah, it's very much feel like the open. Well, yeah, the setup to a story.
Yeah, if this was just the setup to a different story, that's one thing. But if this is the story, I would maybe put a little more time into Corey being established as a character, talking to these people, the subtle changes in their lives, and how that fills in. But I like what you've got here. I'm actually pretty impressed. I don't know if I've ever seen you do writing stuff before, Wendigo, but I think this is a very strong start. And I would love to see more in the future. I would give this one a 7 out of 10, I think. How do you feel?
I would probably agree with you, though. Yeah, 7 out of 10.
Hell fucking yeah. Everybody, please give a round of applause for Wendigo. I'm not going to clap in the mic, but I hope you're all clapping at home right now.
I'll clap in the chat. There's no clapping.
Clappies in the chat?
I'll just do this instead.
Hamilton waved. Hey, Guari said clap.
There we go. There's clap.
Yeah. Alright.
I was a fool.
So, next up, we have...
This is just like what happened in JJK when everyone was clapping, and it made him so happy.
Next up, we have... It's flipping over the stream. 1 second. This one's called So She Drifts Through a Broken Dream. And this is by a longtime fan of the channel and a member of our community, Quaker Buttonnose. I believe Quaker has entered either in every WriterBot, or at least every WriterBot since the second one.
Even the medal, you got Shivo.
Yeah. I would definitely call her the supreme listener.
Wow. That's a big thing to say.
Quaker says, "Oh, I have some notes I added just now. I'm going to refresh it real quick then, just so that it shows up, because we had this pulled up a little bit ahead of time." All right. So she drifts through a broken dream. Notes. This isn't a full story, just the most polished section of what I've written so far. When characters make jokes, I'm trying to show that they're casual and at ease around their coworkers, not make the reader laugh. Don't laugh, Tanhony. Don't laugh.
What can I say? I'm a giggler. I'm gonna laugh.
Don't laugh. Those jokes aren't for you. They're for his coworkers. Lang is part of the research team in the first scene, but the team's boss afterwards. I changed my mind about his role while writing, but I left the first scene as is for now because changing it would require big structural adjustments, and I wanted to focus on writing new sections, not rewriting old ones. Okay.
Brave.
So Lang is a boss later, part of the team first, but gonna edit later. So this isn't the whole story.
Right. I understand. It's like when you go from unsold to copper.
You could have also just said that Lane got promoted in the time between. Smile. Smile, smile.
What do you mean you built up the SCP immunity? Immunity to what?
I used to be able to drink water while watching. Oh, man. All right, so what's our punishment if we laugh during one of the characters' jokes, by the way? Since we're not supposed to. Death?
Yeah.
Maybe something a little... This one humbly begs a perhaps a lower penalty. Maybe humiliation.
You're fucking gold.
I'm not a low gold. You have to be careful. You're the higher rank. You have to protect me.
Oh, okay.
You're honor bound.
You know
this
what?
one's by Quaker
I'll take you up. Oh, wait. I was going to say I'll take you up on that. Why would I give Tinks 5 quid? This one is by Quaker Buttonnose.
I'm going to hit you with my empty palm. Anyway,
so what are you looking down?
Without further ado, item number SCP-Quaker. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. Quaker is kept in a... No, that's not going to work. All right. SCP-XXXX is kept in a standard small object locker.
You gotta be careful. If that had been in response to a joke one of the characters said...
Oh, shit, you're right. I can't be laughing. I'm doing my lock-in face. Just imagine the song started playing. I'm locked in. Like that guy from Parasite gif. Testing of SCP must be approved by one member of level 4 personnel or higher.
What are you doing?
Sorry. I just thought about the fucking locked-in face in my head.
Well, I'm you to kill us.
No, it's not the joke yet. We're fine. Whew. Okay. Document SCP-A is kept in the Site-19 low-risk, low-value, non-anomalous storage wing. Description. The SCP is a wooden stick measuring length, decorated with... SCP's anomalous effects are activated...
Hamilton said it's getting even funnier. It's like when a frog is put into a pot that slowly gets hotter. Don't you think?
Maybe. Perhaps. The SCP's anomalous... Stop! I keep reading the chat, sorry. The SCP's anomalous effects are activated when a human subject, henceforth the user, holds the item and performs one of several specific actions. This causes blue light to be emitted from the tip of the SCP and a corresponding anomalous effect to be produced. A full list of...
screwdriver?
That's what I'm thinking. A full list of known effects and actions required to produce them is listed below. Would you mind reading these?
Oh, absolutely. I'll read with utmost solemnity.
Laugh.
As I just said, I was scared I was going to read with utmost solemnity, and you didn't even acknowledge that.
Sorry, I appreciate your use of the word solemnity. It was a big one for you.
Thank you. This guy. This is maybe the last WriterBotFest Festival Celebration Con 2024. The next one will be 2025. User aims the SCP at a closed mechanical security device, such as a lock, bolt, or latch, and speaks the word open. Effect? The mechanism opens as if it had been unlocked, or otherwise
Oh, it's
opened.
A wand!
Yeah. Well, a sonic screwdriver is basically a wand anyway, so yeah.
I love how this is like the most wand of all time, and you were like, oh, it's the sonic screwdriver, of course.
The blue light is what did it for me specifically.
Ah.
Electronic devices are unaffected, Action. User aims the SCP at a human subject under the effects of a toxin and speaks the word cure. Effect. The toxin disappears from the subject's body, and any illness or physical damage caused by it is healed. Action. User aims the SCP at a waking human subject and speaks the word sleep.
It should probably be at an awake human subject?
Or conscious, yeah.
Yeah.
Effect. Subject immediately enters sleep, progressing through the sleep cycle as normal. Subjects report no unusual effects upon waking. I'm trying so hard to keep my voice level during this whole thing.
No fucking funny business, okay?
I'm sorry. I won't.
Take it seriously. I'm trying to cycle my Madra.
Okay. Action.
By the way, can I have a parasite ring?
No, I'm trying to read.
Sorry.
Action. User aims the SCP.
What was that? Sorry, I just thought I heard something from you that wasn't reading. Please continue.
User aims.
Hey! What are you doing? You're gonna blow this whole operation!
I'm sorry. Let me try again.
Get it together, man!
I'm sorry, I didn't my throat. I wasn't allowed that time. I just had lunch.
Locked in. I'm trying to lock in, it's so hard. Alright, you got it?
User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word.
Go ahead, say it.
Speaks the word lightning. Target becomes electrified with a current of approximately 10,000 amps. It sounds like I'm being tortured right now.
Probably makes it sound like that, right? Like, bzzz. Is that what you would imagine? Serious face?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would make a sound quite like that, yes.
Yeah, we're going...
It sounds like I'm in, like, anguish right now.
Yeah, it's like you're holding in a fart.
User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word ice. Temperature of the target is lowered.
Wanted me to tell you, don't think about a pink elephant. Don't
I
do
saw
it.
I saw it.
Don't do it.
Okay. I won't. Temperature of the target is lowered to 0 degrees Celsius. Brittle materials may shatter due to sudden temperature change.
This is funny to me because this is not as bad as 10,000 amps of electricity, I don't think. 0 degrees Celsius is just freezing. Like, I guess if you did that to someone's blood, they'd just die. But if you did it to, like, their exterior, they'd just be chilly.
Right. Action. User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word fire. Effect. Target bursts into flame.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even need to do that. I just start passing out my mixtape. It's the same effect.
What? Wait, no, I didn't mean to!
Hey! What did I just say?
It's your turn anyway. I got through
serious business.
Why is this like a try not to laugh challenge now?
Document SCP-A is a booklet, okay? Recovered alongside the SCP, consisting of six sheets of white A4 paper strung together with acrylic yarn.
Why did you say that?
The interior pages of document SCP-A contain simple instructions for producing the SCP's anomalous effects written in wax crayon. Despite the similarity of its effects to depictions of magic in fiction, the SCP is not thaumaturgical in nature. End of file.
I don't know what right the SCP Foundation has to be smug about magic, because I've seen what they get up to.
Alright, so this is going to be the hardest part, because characters might start making jokes in the script, but you can't laugh.
Okay,
They're not for you. Okay?
But if we're the characters, don't the characters laugh?
Ooh, fuck.
Quaker, what's your verdict?
Only if it says they laugh can you laugh. Alright, real quick, we need to divvy up these characters. So who are you going to be?
Absolutely. I will be...
Can I be Dr. Lang and J.R. Upston?
Absolutely. I will be J.R. Paisley and Professor Granger.
Perfect.
And you can be the narrator too.
Location. Site 444, Testing Chamber 3A. 2306-2024. Time 1832. Begin log. Dr. Stephen Lang is placing the SCP into a secure transport box. Junior researcher Charlie Upston and Professor Elias Granger are powering down a cant counter. Junior researcher Allison Paisley is...
Excuse me? You have to say that on YouTube?
Yeah. Well, I'm not monetizing this stream, so... is typing the results of the day's tests into a laptop on the chamber's workbench. I'm Lang and Upston, Granger, and Paisley. Okay.
Yes.
These things are way easier to shut down than turn on.
You'll get the hang of it eventually, and you've got us to help you until you do.
I could calibrate a cant counter by myself when I was your age. I'm not a physicist, though, sir.
And the cant counter is a much more refined piece of equipment now than it was in your day, Doctor.
Dr. Lang rolls his eyes. Professor Granger chuckles. You don't have to tell me twice.
I had to get all the laughter that I've been holding out in that allowed moment.
Junior researcher Paisley finishes typing up the test results and shuts her laptop.
I think we've got some good work done today. I'll add today's data to my thesis when I get back to my apartment.
This is the person from overseas they hired.
Well, they're from Liverpool, I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, how's it coming along? Good. I think it'll be completed before the new year. Probably sometime in the fall.
Nice! Well, we're all looking forward to reading it. Junior researcher Paisley picks up a used glass flask from the workbench and begins walking to the chamber's sink.
Yeah,
Location. Site 64, on-site living quarters. Date, 04/15/2002. Oh, this is the past. Time,
flashback.
2019. A 6-year-old Allison Paisley is kneeling by the door of the apartment. She's wearing a yellow Beauty and the Beast nightgown and clutching a stuffed toy mouse in her lap. Her father, Dr. Brian Paisley, is sitting on the couch reading an issue of the SCP Foundation Journal.
You're Allison, I'm Dr. Paisley.
No, you were Allison before... Oh, wait, what?
I'm Dr. Paisley, you're Allison Paisley.
No, but Allison Paisley's J.R. Paisley. That's you.
Is that been established? Quaker, elucidate.
Yeah, if you look up, it says researcher Allison Paisley. That's J.R. Paisley.
You're my dad, then.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, Papa.
Don't laugh.
Why would I laugh?
Just remember.
Okay, I won't laugh.
Go ahead.
I'm the narrator as well.
No,
Oh,
I
right,
already
yes.
narrated that fool.
How long now?
Just a few more minutes. Once she gets back, you have to go to bed. Okay.
Okay.
Allison watches the door, frowning. She fidgets with the toy mouse.
How long now?
Dr. Paisley laughs, but not me, because it's not for me. Ollie, it's barely been a minute since you last asked.
I want it to be home now.
Asking when she's... I don't know why Allison has this accent, but not her father. He's from America. She's half American. Asking when she's going to get back isn't going to make it happen any faster, sweetie.
I like the implication that accents are genetic.
Well, no, so he moved to England or whatever the fuck to be with her mom.
He managed to recover though. Okay.
Yeah. He pats the sofa cushion next to him. You don't want to wait down there on the floor. Come, stay with your dad.
No way.
Aw, why not? Elson pouts.
Last time I waited on the couch with you, I fell asleep before Mum got back. I don't want to fall asleep. I want to fucking see her.
Holly, your mom was working very late that night and you were already tired from going it down. You won't fall asleep this time. Allison huffs and exaggeratedly turns her head away from Dr. Paisley and towards the door. He chuckles quietly, but not me. It's not funny.
That moment doesn't belong to you.
It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to me. God, Quaker, why'd you have to write such a funny article? How could you do this? Junior researcher Paisley drops the flask, causing it to fall to the floor and loudly shatter. Shit!
What? Oh my god! I'm so sorry, Al!
Junior researcher Paisley begins to quickly walk towards the chamber's storage closet. Hey, oh, that's not his voice. Hey, it's fine. Don't freak out. No, it's not funny. It's not.
No use crying over spilt milk, I say.
Don't laugh at that, Dan. Professor Granger retrieves a brush from the storage closet and begins sweeping up the glass shards.
You're level T in your narrating tone right now. Can you make it a bit more neutral, please?
Professor Granger... Fuck.
Something wrong?
No! Nothing's wrong! I just need a minute to... My diaphragm's acting up.
I see.
Professor... Fuck. This is a hard world we live in. Have you ever thought about that?
I did. I suffered back there. Not once did I scream. You should be more like me.
I'm trying to lock in. Professor Granger retrieves a brush from the storage closet and begins sweeping up the glass shards.
Yeah?
Give me a minute. Sorry, my diaphragm. I've got hiccups. Junior researcher Paisley sits on a stool at the workbench. Junior researcher Upston places a hand on her shoulder. Are you alright?
I don't know. I was talking and then...
And then what?
It probably doesn't matter. I'm crying. I just got distracted.
Junior researcher Paisley laughs quietly, but not me, it's her, glancing around the room.
Well, yeah, of course not you. It was my character, but I also don't laugh.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to take that away from her.
Yeah, exactly. These are her jokes.
I got distracted and made me forget what I was doing for a second. There's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Professor Granger and junior researcher Upston glance at each other. Dr. Lang raises his eyebrows.
Well, if you say so.
Dr. Lang seals the secure transport box containing the SCP. Professor Granger picks up the cont counter. I feel there's like a swelling in my neck trying not to laugh.
I do like that comment from Quaker.
It's the quiet place, but the monsters kill you if you laugh. But it's not funny. That's not about this. That's an outside
Even if
joke.
such a scenario were true, we would be perfectly safe.
Why do they keep putting arrows in front of the same message? It's not making me laugh at all. It's not.
It's fine. I have no strong feelings towards that.
That's just the sound of my
phenomenon.
diaphragm moving involuntarily. Nothing more. I'll haul this glorified Tupperware container back to storage if no one wants to volunteer. Another classic Lang joke.
With my back? Heavens, no.
My bird and the bear, then.
He's very funny. If I were a character in that space, I might laugh.
I would have.
But as I'm not, as I'm not in that space and I'm not a character in this context, I will not laugh.
Next time, I would appreciate if Quaker wrote into the story that Tanhony and Darnell get to laugh, because I would like to join in their joy.
Well, while that is nice, that's fundamentally impossible because they exist in an imaginary space that we can perceive but not truly make contact with, so we cannot laugh.
That's true. And that's a sacrifice we have to bear as readers in this world. It's hard being a reader.
It's a phenomenon called the torment of the audience.
Did you know 1,000 people die a year from reading? Think about it.
Really?
Yeah. It's your words, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Which one is me?
That must leave me with the job.
That must leave me with the job of ferrying the counter to the storerooms, then.
Professor Granger quickly picks up the con counter from the workbench. He stares at junior researcher Upston and tilts his head towards junior researcher Paisley before walking away down the corridor.
If he wanted to ask me if I'm okay, he could have just said.
Well, he is an old British fella. He's used to talking about emotional stuff. They both laugh.
We, however, neither of us laugh.
we stay fucking locked in.
We remain respectful to these characters and their plights,
yes,
and permit them this moment of levity,
yes,
choosing not to take it from them for our own self-aggrandizement.
I love the concept that if we were to laugh, it would steal the joy from them.
Yeah.
Are you okay, though?
No.
Do you want to talk about it?
No. No, I really don't.
Oh. Well, if you change your mind, I'm here whenever you need me.
Thank you, Charlie. You're a good kid.
Junior researcher Upston smiles and winks at her. I'm not retraining in psychology for nothing. Don't laugh.
It was a funny joke. If I was there, I might have laughed, but as I'm not there, I did not laugh.
Exactly. Junior researcher Upston removes his lab coat and hangs it up on the wall. He goes to exit the chamber, but stops while opening the door. Oh, I was gonna mention this before, but Bat's having a movie night at his flat tomorrow night. There's gonna be drinks and snacks and stuff. It's some Italian slasher from the 80s the director recommended to him. If you're interested?
So, is that you?
Yeah. I think he's asking her out on a date, unless I'm misreading this.
I think I think you're exactly right. I think that is what's happening. Thank you, but I'll pass. I'll be busy with my thesis.
He must be shattered. I bet he doesn't feel like laughing at all right now.
He's definitely not laughing in the near future.
Yeah. That's fine. I'll see you tomorrow. Junior researcher Upston opens the chamber door and walks out.
Bye, Charlie.
Junior researcher Paisley hangs up her lab coat and places her laptop and research notes into her work bag. She picks up the bag, walks towards the door, and reaches towards the light switch, but stops. She looks around the room as if trying to find something. Junior researcher Paisley switches off the chamber's lights and walks out of the door, locking it.
Presumably she was looking around the room for inappropriate laughter, and having found none of it, she chose to leave without issue.
I think these two boxes were accidentally spaced separate and they're meant to be one, just as a heads up, Quaker. Location, Site 444, on-site living quarters. Date, June 23rd, 2024. Time, 1838. Junior researcher Paisley enters through the domicile's doors and immediately shuts it behind her while placing her bag onto the floor. She undoes the bun in her hair and places the removed pins onto a small side table, then leans back against the door. Wait, does this imply there's like cameras in her rooms? That feels a little.
Well, I think it's beyond implication.
Yeah,
reading this. My mic went weird for a second there, so it might have sounded like I said that with an undue amount of levity. However, I was fully neutral.
Ah, I see. Anyway, you have a line.
Look.
I thought the first part was you doing the ugh, so the feminine ugh after that was really funny. But I'm not laughing about it. I'm not. That was just my impression of the Supreme.
What do you mean Tanner's always biased? I'm never biased. I'm always perfectly neutral, just like right now.
Exactly. Junior researcher Paisley runs her hands through her hair before resting them on her face underneath her glasses. She slides downwards against the door until she's sat on the floor. Tan? I lost him.
Ugh! I was too high-pitched, it didn't register.
Sorry, that was my impression of what it would sound like if Paisley laughed at you trying to do that.
That would be very inappropriate. I'm glad Quaker didn't choose to have Paisley laugh at that moment, because it would have made sense.
Indeed, agreed. Junior researcher Paisley removes her slacks and shoes, neatly folding the trousers and placing them onto the table. She places the shoes under the side table before walking to the and picking up a pair of pajama bottoms from the table and pulls them on. Junior researcher Paisley walks to the kitchenette and takes a cup from the cupboard. She places it under the kitchenette's tap and fills it with water. Paisley raises the cup to her mouth and quickly drinks it in its entirety before placing the cup into the empty sink, breathing heavily. Junior researcher Paisley walks over to the couch. I don't think you need to say her full name with each paragraph stop. I think you could just do like she after the first or second one. Resting her head on a cushion. She picks a TV remote from the couch's armrest and turns on the apartment's television. It's set to a channel playing a wildlife documentary about birds. Paisley wraps her arms around her torso. After several minutes remaining in this position, Paisley slowly stands up from the couch and walks to her bedroom. She closes the door behind her. She kneels next to the bed and bends down to place her arm underneath it, reaching for something. She pulls out a large, woven plastic storage bag. Sitting up as she unfastens the zipper and opens the bag. Paisley begins moving items around within the bag. She picks up a worn and faded stuffed toy mouse.
Long time no see, little buddy.
Junior researcher Paisley hugs the toy to her chest before placing it to the side. She continues to remove items from the bag, including a thin, frayed purple blanket, until she finds a framed photograph. She holds it up to the light. The photograph shows Paisley as a small child with her mother and father. The family is standing at the edge of a large wooded area. Paisley's father has his arm around his wife's shoulders, and she's holding her daughter on her hip. All three are smiling.
It's very plausible that immediately before or immediately after the taking of that photograph,
something happened.
One, if not all three of them, could be laughing.
That's true, but they're not doing it right now.
There's no proof. So. There's no proof, of course. And as it's a photograph, it does not transmit sound, so it would be inappropriate for us to do laughter at that point.
Agreed. Junior researcher Paisley returns the photograph to the bottom of the bag. She places the other removed items on top of it, covering it from sight before closing the bag and pushing it back underneath the bed. Paisley hangs her head and returns to the main room of the apartment. She sits back down on the couch. The documentary is over and the channel has gone to a commercial break. A salesman is enthusiastically explaining the chemical formula of a brand of laundry detergent. Proprietary chemical? That's outrageous. He would never say that. Paisley lowers the sound volume.
It's very strange that he's revealing that.
Yeah.
The Krusty Krab, for instance.
Will know.
And I do have to point out, Quaker has corrected us as well, that it's very unlikely they would have been laughing, as they would do have too much respect for the cameraman.
Agreed.
Or camera woman, if that is the case.
I appreciate the respect. Paisley lowers the sound volume of the television and rubs her temples with her fingers. Paisley looks through the channels on the TV guide.
Jesus did that as well, did you know?
To look through the channels on the TV guide?
No, he rubbed his temples with his fingers.
Oh. Interesting. He probably did do that, you're right.
I'm sorry, I have to go back, because Tinks has pointed out that we do not know. The camera person could very well have been non-binary, and I did not point that out. I failed to point that out.
That is true. They could be anywhere on the gender spectrum, and we wouldn't know. Paisley looks through the channels on the TV guide. After 4 minutes, she returns to the previous channel and places down the remote. The channel is now playing a rerun of a family sitcom. It's probably very funny if she was paying attention, but she's not.
Presumably there's a laugh track, but as it's not specified, I won't go over my bounds and do the laughter.
Agreed, and I appreciate you respecting the author's wishes. Paisley glances over at her laptop before looking back at the television. She watches the sitcom, but continues to glance at the laptop throughout the episode. The episode ends and Paisley yawns. She rubs her eyes and turns to face the table, staring at the laptop. After several seconds, she sighs, gets up from her seat, and walks towards the table. Online Potential Anomaly Interaction Report. June 23rd, This is the most eventful day of all time.
That's a good day.
Site 444, Testing Chamber 3A. I think this is Paisley, so go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, I was preparing to finish my work for the day. I experienced...
Go ahead, do the voice.
I'm sorry, as you know, I just ate recently, so my throat was acting up. I experienced a sudden, vivid flashback to an event in my past. I'm not sick. I have no other symptoms. I haven't, to my knowledge, been exposed to any substances that cause hallucinations, and I don't have schizophrenia or PTSD. I haven't experienced anything similar or otherwise worth noting since the initial events. The flashbacks concerned myself, my father, and my late mother. It took place in the on-site apartment at Site 64 we lived in when I was a child. I was about 5 or 6 years old. It was evening, and I was waiting for my mother to return from work. I didn't view the scene from the perspective of my younger self. I was watching it from an outsider's perspective. The experience is hard to describe. It was as if I could see everything in the room from every angle at the same time. I didn't feel disoriented or as if anything unusual was happening until the flashback was over. I would like to be anaesthetised of this event if possible.
Location: Site 444, Department of Research Offices, June 24th, 2024, 8:33.
I do appreciate, by the way, looking at chat, that people have stopped commenting so that they don't risk making us laugh.
Yes, I appreciate your sanctity in the matter.
It would be extremely inappropriate.
Yeah, don't put any laughing emojis either, because that would suggest
Please,
laughter.
no jokes, no bits, please.
Thank you. Thinks as you, by the way.
Well, I'm glad that's not a joke, so it will not cause me to laugh.
Junior researcher Paisley enters the office, tightly gripping the handle of her work bag. Various other members of research staff are working at desks or in cubicles around the office. Paisley glances around the room while walking to her cubicle, located next to the cubicles of the other members of the SCP research team. Junior researcher Upston watches Paisley as she walks past his cubicle and into hers. She sits down and removes her laptop from her bag. They stare at each other, but are silent for several seconds. Hey.
Hi.
Are you doing okay? You don't have to talk about yesterday if you don't want to. I just... Paisley! Junior researcher Paisley.
I love this phenomenon, by the way, where you get a vibe from a character, and they slowly become so with your voice.
I mean, is he not? In the way he has behaved?
What was that noise you just made?
No, I'm sorry. That was my impression of what would happen if you squeezed all the air from a bag of lungs.
Of course. A bag of lungs?
A bag of lungs.
Of course.
But sometimes you need more than one. Junior researcher.
Most people have two.
That's why you need a bag of them. Junior researcher. Sorry, I have a sneeze I'm containing. And nothing more, nothing less.
I understand.
Sorry. I might need to take some allergy medicines.
Please do whatever you need to.
This is the hardest bit we've ever done, by the way.
What do you mean, but this is for real?
This is not a... Sorry. A bit of work is what I meant. Just a little bit of work. Light work, no reaction.
A piece of work, yes.
Quite. That's one way you could phrase it. Piece is a synonym for bit. Very good pointing that out as a writer. Junior researcher Paisley and junior researcher Upston suddenly turn to look at the source of the noise. Dr. Lang stands up behind his desk and waves a sheaf of papers above his head. Can you run these over to the director's office for me? The clown has been hounding the department for them for a week. Clowns are very funny. That's you?
Oh, of course.
Who's Dr. Wilson, by the way?
I'll be Dr. Wilson.
Is this a new character?
Of course, sir. Don't call him a clown.
Dr. Lang rolls his eyes and places the papers back onto his desk, returning his attention to his computer. Junior researcher Paisley slumps back in her chair.
Why does he keep making me run basic errands? It better not be because I'm a woman. It's just because you're new.
Oh.
I wish that made me feel better.
He acts like this with everyone at first. Before you, it was Granger. Before him, it was Wilson. Before him, it was me. Don't take it personally.
We'll leave you alone once you're not the new kid on the block anymore. Mostly. Well, how much longer do I have to be here before I stop being the new person?
Upston and Wilson glance at each other. Upston frowns. It's complicated.
What? How is it?
The Foundation doesn't pay you to sit around chit-chatting, Paisley. Don't laugh.
Why would I laugh?
Sorry, some might consider that a humorous interjection. Site director Dr. Benjamin Kondraki. Isn't Kondraki like a famous doctor?
He's one of the big boys, yeah.
What's his gimmick?
I think he was like clef, but lesser.
I can see his next line is immediately doing a Good Morning Vietnam.
So, I hope I don't laugh.
Site director Dr. Benjamin Kondraki throws the door into the office open, causing it to noisily slam against the wall. He walks into the room, carrying a thick manila folder under one arm and drinking from a thermos shaped like a camera lens. Good morning, Vietnam! Say something else here. Dr. Lang turns to the door, narrowing his eyes. Good morning, Director. Are you saving that ketchup on your sleeve for lunch? What? Oh. Director Kondraki removes a paper napkin from his jacket pocket and wipes the sauce from his sleeve. He then balls up the used napkin and throws it into a waste paper basket. Director Kondraki chuckles and points at Dr. Lang with his thumb. This guy's always keeping me on my toes.
I just want to point out, although Director Kondraki did chuckle, though you did not. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
That moment of levity belonged to him.
Exactly. I would never take that away. Tink said I literally said that, Darnell. Said what?
Yeah, you have to be more specific. Can you give us a little quote of what he said that you said prior?
I'm confused.
Please?
I don't know what Tinks is referring to. I'm sorry.
Please, Tinks.
Anyway, this guy's always keeping me on my toes. Dr. Lang scowls. Director Kondraki smirks and turns to face the rest of the room. Anyway, where's those files I wanted? Here. Dr. Lang pushes the files across his desk and towards Director Kondraki, who walks over and picks them up. He places them into the folder. Paisley was just about to take them to your office when you showed up. Oh, the new girl? Paisley hunches over her laptop and begins speaking quietly to herself.
Please don't come over here. Please don't come over here.
She's over there. The director walks towards Paisley's cubicle. She turns away from Director Kondraki. There's something depressing about even when you go to work for like the top secret elite science, you still have a fucking cubicle. You're not good enough. In your lab, no less. She turns away from Director Kondraki and sighs before turning back to him and smiling as he gets closer.
Hello, sir. I was just about to bring you the report when you came in.
She rubs the front of her neck.
I've got a throat, you see. Sorry we couldn't get it to you faster.
That would have been a humorous thing to laugh at, but it wasn't in the script, so I didn't.
Absolutely. It is not relevant.
Indeed. Roger. Oh, sorry. It should have been Benjamin. My bad. Director Kondraki. Don't worry about it, kiddo. I usually go to pick files up myself anyway. It's not like it's a hassle in a site this small.
There should be more here, but I couldn't get it written in time.
Bullshit. Fuck. This is.
Oh no.
But there should be more here. Bullshit.
That's not funny.
You're right. Sorry.
You mustn't laugh.
Ah! I slapped myself. Sorry. Thanks for catching me there.
No problem. Whenever you fall, my hand will be there to pick you back up.
Bullshit. You should be proud of your work, kid. If everyone assigned to a generic safe worked as hard as you do, the Foundation would be a different place.
Thank you, sir.
Atta girl. There should be more here, but I couldn't get it written in time. It's the funniest note of all time, but I'm not laughing about it. Director Kondraki walks towards the door and exits. Dr. Lang watches him leave, brow furrowed. I don't know why he's so chipper about being stuck in this shithole. Professor Granger laughs and shakes his head.
You know that's not how he sees it, lad.
Dr. Lang rolls his eyes and turns back to his computer. That's you.
I don't know what I think about him. He can be a lot, but he's not a bad guy. You'll like him better once you get to know him. He's better than my last director.
Junior researcher Paisley sighs and turns back to her computer. Is it clear that Paisley is older than Upston? Not at all. I know you said they weren't, but I totally got a vibe that he was like low-key into her.
Yeah.
I think they do call him kid once, but like they're all like adults in the SCP Foundation, so I just assumed he was like a new junior researcher or something.
Yeah, I assume they were on like a similar age group. Yeah.
Was the director's introduction too funny? I wanted him to be playful and witty, but not outright comical because it would clash with the tone I'm going for. I think it was fine. He comes off a little silly, but like not overly so.
Although he did do that, we did not laugh, so take that as you will.
Yeah, well... Oh, now that the article's over, I can finally get out all the laughter, but I've spent so long suppressing it in my chest that I ascended to Iron Rank.
Well, I was thinking that you didn't go through the same battles as I did, so maybe if you scroll back up...
Yeah.
scroll up to that little chart that I went through and
Uh-huh.
see if you can make it to the end of it in a completely neutral tone.
Okay. User aims SCP-X at a closed mechanical security device, such as a lock, bolt, or latch, and speaks the word open. The mechanism opens as if it had been unlocked or otherwise opened. Electronic devices are unaffected.
You mustn't laugh. You need to remember this. You mustn't laugh. It's all over if you laugh, okay?
User aims SCP at a human subject under the effects of a toxin and speaks the word cure. The toxin disappears from the subject's body, and any illness or physical damage caused by it is healed.
You're doing so well, by the way. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
But you're not laughing. But you're not even feeling the urge to laugh.
The SCP at a waking human subject and speaks the word sleep. Subject immediately enters sleep, progressing through the sleep cycle as normal. Subjects report...
That would be great to have in real life, you know, if you put yourself in sleep.
Would be very handy. Subjects report no unusual effects upon waking. User aims the SCP...
Well done, I'm really proud of you so far, by the way.
Object or surface and speaks the word lightning. Target becomes electrified with a current of approximately 10,000 amps.
It's a big number, huh?
User aims SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word ice. Temperature of the target is lowered to 0 degrees Celsius. Brittle materials may shatter due to sudden temperature change. Lastly, user aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word fire. Target bursts into flame.
You're the strongest soldier.
That was so hard. Like, I literally felt like I was shoving something down into my stomach. That was...
it was bad for me as well when I did it.
Ugh, the comments made me want to laugh, but I didn't, because I'm respectful and I care about our viewers and their wishes. Lastly, does this opening make you want to keep reading? Let's go back. I don't know. It's a little standard. But
it's taking a little bit to get to, like, I don't see so much the connection between the first part of this story with the object and then the story that comes back. I'm assuming somehow it caused this flashback.
Yeah.
But there's not... It then sort of goes off on its own thing, and I don't see the one having come back into it yet, really.
My one big complaint as well is the part where she, like, goes to the door and, like, looks through her things. I kind of get the idea of it, but I think way too much time is spent describing every little action she does.
Right, yeah.
Generally, and this is something I think you taught me, Tan, when you're writing, less is more. The reader can fill their head in. Like, you don't need to say, turns on the tap, fills it with water, raises the cup, drinks it. You can just be like, she walks to the kitchenette, grabs a cup of water, and sits down on the couch watching a TV show, and you can accomplish the exact same thing. It can be easy to kind of fall into the weeds with that, literally, when you're, like, trying to write out an image in your head. But you can save yourself a lot of time and the reader a lot of headache by just, like, simplifying it drastically. Otherwise, I don't think there's enough of it. Like you said, there's a lot you said you need to write more. It's not the conclusion, and it's just a piece of the story. But I'm vaguely interested in what's going on with Paisley and her little crew. Mostly Paisley and Upston I got the most attached to. Lang and Granger didn't leave too much of an impression. And Kondraki, I'm not familiar enough with that character personally. I think if I just read the opening about the wand, I would probably keep reading. But that's also hard for me because most SCPs that open in the standard format, I already have trouble reading because they're meant to be like impersonal and scientific, but to me that often makes them kind of boring. And I feel like a lot of modern SCPs know that, and they keep that part short to get to like the addendums and the logs quicker. So it's pretty tricky. Any thoughts, Tan?
I would probably agree with you there. Like has been said in the chat, you don't want to say, "Oh, it should be a tale," but right now it does feel like, as I said, the SCP, and then this happens next. I don't see the connection so much yet.
It's not related to any part of this, it seems.
It's very vaguely. If he comes back in, then this is not finished work, of course. So I can't say for sure, but I feel like it needs to come back in somehow.
I like the basis of what you got here, but I really need to see more about what the story is meant to be and the other parts of it. But, you know, I had fun reading it, even if a lot of that fun came from our made-up Don't Laugh challenge. Which, by the way, is the hardest thing I've ever done. I think I fucked up my body trying to do that. I don't know how or why, but I just have a feeling. By the way, I just heard there's a Dragon Ball MOBA coming. Have you heard of this?
Really?
It's called Dragon Ball Project Multi.
I've not heard of this. I'm not a huge Dragon Ball fan or a huge MOBA fan. You see, I like good video games.
I gotcha. Alright. Interesting take, Daniel. I can respect that, but for me it's probably the other way around. Although that might also just be because I think a lot of modern wiki writers put more effort into the addendum parts than the beginning parts for the reasons I said. I feel like there have been rare instances where the actual article part was kind of gripping to me. And usually, funny enough, it was early on series stuff, but I also think that's because series 1 was a different vibe, where you kind of slowly figure out what the thing is through what it does. And it kind of creates intrigue, whereas nowadays it feels more like an obligation people do before they get to the story they want to write. And I don't think one style is necessarily better than the other, but I think the latter style is easier, at least, and why people have sort of leaned more towards it. I honestly, truthfully believe the SCP format is restricted by the need to be overly scientific. If reports were allowed to have a slightly more casual, not super casual, but just a little bit more casual with themselves, I think they'd be way more wiggle room to still make it feel official and, like, be more gripping story-wise. But people are very strict about, like, the numbers, the SCP dash, the, like, formatting and the words used, and I think that makes them innately boring to read to me, personally. Anyway, next one we have is from JJ. Oh shit, this is a 7-page Google Doc.
We're only an hour in. This guy, before we started, I always know he was like, no one sent anything in, we've got nothing to read.
To be fair, JT sent this at the last minute. Before that, actually I should read the person who submitted it sooner. Also, there's a shorter. Our very own Blue Light, if you don't remember, they were a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Havoc Moon, and then I believe they followed Good Trouble in that. They made a little JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Gemini Moon. I don't know if it takes place in the same universe as Havoc Moon or not, or if it's its own thing, but I'm pretty excited to read this. I like that they made a little graphic for it.
I like it too. It's more effort than I had.
Wait, Daniel, that guy, you're Blue Light?
You're Kira?
This is blowing my mind.
We're all in the warehouse right now.
Lan says, read Red's articles. He uses a more casual form of scientific prose. It's very unique. I'd be
Don't
down
tell
for that.
him what to do.
Well, if we want to do an episode on Red articles, I'd be down.
Okay.
Because I think that might be a style I'm more interested in. I cannot believe Blue Light is... I never linked that the commenter Daniel is Blue Light. That's crazy, because Blue Light did all the fan art for JoJo's stuff. Not all, but a lot of it. Sorry, it's just like I met a celebrity. This is my own version of JoJo Universe Unconnected. Ah, gotcha. Alright, this is the pilot. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Toronto City, afternoon. Oh, sorry. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Gemini Moon. Toronto City, afternoon.
Dragon Hadrian Moon?
Two shady-looking men, one smoking a cigarette, the other wearing a baseball cap while leaning on a metal pipe like a cane, wait for a delivery in an empty parking lot. They're chatting near their car in the shade cast by an elevated expressway. Eventually, the two ruffians spot their third companion, a man wearing a beanie and a hoodie. Two quick notes, writing format-wise. I like to put a second break between paragraphs. It makes it a little more easy to read, and spaces out the page. Also...
the two there, I would say, use the word two.
Use the word two, yeah. Usually when you do numbers and there's small numbers, you just write out the number. Got another one for you, Jarvis. The man with the beanie said as he approached, pulling out a brown wallet from his hoodie pocket. Picked it off a guy on Church Street, practically asking for it. I checked it for any bugs or trackers on it. Nothing. The man smoking the cigarette, Jarvis, inspects the wallet. Inside were 3 $5 bills, a credit card, ATM card, some gift cards, a bundle of receipts, a list of email addresses, and a driver's license with the name Gordon Gray. Jarvis shook his head in approval. Not bad. There's some useful shit in here. Oh, do you want to be this guy?
Nice wallet you got there, guys. Wouldn't happen to be stolen, would it?
The three, and again, I'd write that one out. The three men whip their heads around to the source of the voice. Before them stands a man with hair pushed up into a point in an unbuttoned long coat. He has a smug look on his face as he holds his cell phone out in front of him, the phone's camera pointed at them. Jarvis recognizes this man as the one on the driver's license, Gordon Gray. You supposed to be a cop or something? The man with the baseball cap straightened his posture as if he was trying to intimidate Gordon with his size. Wait. Who's got the baseball cap? Do you mean the beanie? Oh, no.
One he's wearing a baseball cap.
No, it says baseball cap the first time. Oh,
no, there's the guy with beanie as well.
I see. There's three guys toting.
Different hats are in play.
I see. Are you supposed to be a cop or something? The man with a baseball cap straightened his posture as if he was trying to intimidate Gordon with his size. How the hell did he follow me? I swore he didn't see my face, and I was practically looking over my shoulder the entire time. He's doing like the JoJo react face.
Yeah.
Thought the man with the beanie. Jarvis glares at Gordon. We don't appreciate the paparazzi. If you don't want trouble, you better delete those photos and pretend this never happened. In spite of his lanky appearance and being outnumbered, Gordon doesn't look intimidated.
Sorry, guys. Forgetting isn't in my job description. I'm willing to cut you guys a deal. Just turn yourselves in when the cops arrive, and I'll get your sentences lowered from 1 year to 6 months. Does that sound
Gordon is cut off as the man with the baseball cap runs towards him, wielding the metal pipe like a baseball bat. He slams the metal pipe into the side of Gordon's
much like
head
his hats.
Oh. He slams the metal pipe into the side of Gordon's head like a lumberjack swinging an axe into a tree. Anticipating the sound of metal hitting bone, the three men stare in disbelief as instead of smashing his head open like a watermelon, the pipe gently flops against the side of Gordon's head like a pool noodle. An unfamiliar feminine voice pops up from behind a nearby car. Great job, dumbass. You just added battery to your chain. I assume charge. The owner of the chastising voice stood up from their hiding place, revealing themselves to be an unimpressed-looking young woman with a red hijab. The two remaining men try to rush after her, but they struggle as something is preventing them from moving their feet. They look down, dumbfounded, as their shoes seem to somehow be connected to the pavement with string, stitched together like two pieces of fabric.
Oh. They haven't harmed anyone here, ma'am. Oh. They haven't harmed anyone here, ma'am. So technically, they're... only charge is assault.
From behind another car.
Hold on, no, this is a nerdy guy. Again. They haven't harmed anyone here, ma'am. So technically, their only charge is assault.
Behind another car appeared a much larger man with pointy hair, a white lab coat, and goofy-looking circular glasses. I love the idea that he's like this buff guy and he's got the nerd like dizzy spin glasses.
Actually, he's like all hunched over with a backpack.
Hell yeah. The man with the baseball cap abandons his weapon and prepares his left arm to simply punch Gordon. Gordon anticipates this move, and while still holding onto the phone, narrows his eyes.
Gemini syndrome.
The moment he thinks of this name...
Yoink!
Nice. The moment he thinks of this name, a ghostly arm manifests from Gordon's body and blocks the incoming punch with its forearm. The ruffian is temporarily stunned by the invisible force preventing his fist from connecting, but he doesn't have time to think too deeply about it as a second ghostly arm appears and punches his face instead, knocking him backwards onto the pavement. The ghostly entity, Gemini Syndrome, has now fully manifested, although the ruffians cannot see it. It has the appearance of a humanoid made of smooth plastic, with a single large camera lens for an eye. It wears a skirt with a grid pattern, and it has a large film reel on its chest, with film wrapped over its shoulders.
Told you should have just Told you should have just chosen the easy way.
Gordon says as Gemini Syndrome phases back into its owner's body. The police soon arrive at the scene. Gordon shows the cops the photos he took as evidence, and the three very confused wallet thieves are dragged into the back of a police car. Gordon and his two companions walk back to their own car. The wallet in Gordon's hand dissolves into particles of light. The real wallet is safe inside of his pocket. Wait, so did he just do that to beat up three people?
Oh, yeah.
They didn't even steal from him. That's so fucked. This is you. Nerd.
I suppose we were lucky there was an open and shut case, Gordon, sir.
The big man, Franklin, said in his gleeful voice.
Your understandability made this investigation a whole heaping piece of cake.
Draped around Franklin's neck was his own stand. A snake with stitches covering its body, big bulging eyes, and a tiny top hat. Oh, that's cute.
Thanks for a compliment, Frank, but you two did most of the grunt work.
Says Gordon. Why did you have to be the one to confront them? I could have taken those assholes on easily, Mira says, rolling her eyes.
You can't just punch your way through... Sorry, you got somewhere else to be?
No? What?
You scrolled up for some reason.
I didn't. I was just trying to see if the name was Mira the first time as well. It was Hira before, and now it's Mira.
I did notice that, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just punch your way through any mystery, you know? Besides...
Gordon gets into the driver's seat of his car.
We scrolled up again.
No, continue.
What kind of detective would I be if I stayed at the line of fire?
The trio drive off with more cases to solve on the horizon. Later that night, a woman with dark blonde hair is asleep in her apartment. It's a windy night outside, so she does not wake up when the door to her apartment creaks open. The sleeping woman lives alone. Several minutes later, a humanoid figure exits the apartment building holding a rectangular black package beneath their arm before walking off into the city streets. The apartment is now empty. Intrigue. I'm interested. I would maybe be willing to read more of this. I don't really know what I could crit because it's kind of its own unique format. It's sort of like a pitch for a series almost. What did you think?
I liked it as well. It's a nice little setup, and it establishes some character relations, a little bit of power. It's a nice little intro. I can imagine like a JoJo part starting with this, maybe.
Yeah. The big criticisms I have are space out the paragraphs more, use the words instead of the numbers for the numbers, and then figure out if the name is Hira or Mira and stay consistent with that. But otherwise, everything I think was fine writing-wise. Lan says, what the fuck? What's wrong, Lan? Are you okay, buddy?
You okay? You okay, kid?
This is like the Lan of real life. It's Mira. It's just a typo. Gotcha. Right.
Lan, we're here for you. What's wrong? Else?
Yeah, I'm really concerned about Lan right now. Oh, he was replying to Crowcat.
What did Crowcat say?
I did. Pretty cool. I don't know.
You got a weird head, man.
Okay. All right, shall we continue?
Absolutely. I would love to continue.
Holy shit, Scipio in the chat. Welcome, Scipio.
Welcome.
We only have one thing left, but you have to read it because my voice is shot and it's 7 pages.
Absolutely. Send it to me.
This is by WriterBot Last Minute Submission, The Unbearable Heat and the Unbearable Purpose by JTKC, who is sadly not present due to time zones.
Let me start reading. Wind entered the open door like the new, unwelcome tenant. The harsh breeze brought sand from the porch with it, small particles clattering against the dusty floor. Looking away from the place they once called home, the drifter faced the vast, empty expanse of the Hatton Desert, with the horizon fluttering like a rubber tube as the heat radiated away from the burning sands. Legends tell of a man who used to own this area, but as long as the drifter is known, the sands belong to no one. The drifter stepped out of their home, double-checking their supplies for the one-way trip. If all went to plan, it would be the last trip. No, the last good thing they'd do in this world.
Are they about to kill themselves?
Jesus.
I mean, that's kind of what it implies, right?
Wow. I mean, we don't know the drifter yet. We'll find out more. Once satisfied, I did also like that metaphor with the horizon. I did enjoy that. Once satisfied, they hoisted the supplies onto their chest. The space on their back was reserved for the point of their mission. The package. They pick it up. It was 3/4 their size, heavy, and the straps dug into their shoulders like teeth. This is giving me Death Stranding vibes. To walk such a distance with this thing would be difficult, but never a burden. Never.
Never! It's not a burden. Don't say it is.
With a few taps on the wrist, a holographic display lit up. The package spoke.
Oh, this is me.
What's up, fucko? Where are we going?
It said, in a squeaky, almost grating voice. Did you want that?
Yes.
Well, let's see if yours, then. Let's see if...
No, continue. You've got it. You got this.
The drifter rolled their eyes, hoping the red bandana over their mouth hid their sour expression as it did keep the sand out. The piece of cloth hid neither. East, across the desert, to deliver you.
Little old me? Can't say no to that.
If the package had eyelids, they would be fluttering.
Onwards to adventure.
You know what the vibe is with the voice you're giving me? It's giving the Apocalypse book from Undead Unluck a little bit.
That's all I was going for, yeah. The drifter sighed. Oh, I need to catch up on that. Preparing
Same.
themselves for the long journey. The companion was clearly having a better time than they then.
Aw.
Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, away we go.
Package sang to the beat of the drifter steps.
Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho.
Do you mind?
Do I mind having a grand old time? Nope. Hey ho, hey ho.
Rolling their eyes, the drifter didn't have the patience to tell it to stop again. They kept walking, keeping perfect pace with the tune as if to find some use out of it. Despite the music in the bar, the drifter could only focus on the low-pitched squeak as the bartender wiped a glass clean. You sure about this? The bartender asked the lone drinker at the counter.
The lonely drinker tries to get blasted at night.
Although waiting for the streams to catch up.
What?
Yes, the drifter replied, bourbon in hand. It's your funeral, he shrugged. They scowled. You know what I mean. I'm happy here. Why can't you be? Silence was the answer. Whiskey touched the drifter's lips instead of words. Fine. But did you really have to bring that thing here?
Hello, hello. Hi.
The package yelled from the nearby bar stool it was balanced on, getting strange looks from the bartender. Couldn't leave it.
Ah, see how irresistible I am.
Could at least leave it at home. The hell is wrong with you? I was on the way home, and I thought I would come and say goodbye before I depart tomorrow. The squeaking ceased. Truthfully, the glass had been cleaned for a while, waiting for another drink. Well, I can open another bottle at least. I've seen you on bad days. You can handle one more. Shaking their head, the drifter emptied their glass. Not this time, and it's been a long time coming. Hopping down from the stool, the drifter hoisted the package onto their back. They turned to leave. So that's it? Not even a final toast? Goodbye. They walked for hours, following the footpaths of nomads long past. The unfortunate remains of a few still decorated the roadside. Contrary to its appearance, the desert makes more sound than what one would believe. The shifting grains of sand crunched under the weight of the dunes they formed. JG reference? Sliding and squeaking against each other, not unlike a bow drawing itself on the violin strings.
I like the
Only
little
more vast.
metaphors and similes here.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Can I make a confession?
Please confess.
I haven't seen Dune yet. I read the first book forever
You are
ago in
not
school.
Lisan
I remember everything
Al-Gaib.
about it. I am not Lisan Al-Gaib.
We should watch it.
I'd be down. We'd have to find a time and place, though, because we still have to do Aether after this.
Hey ho, away we go. Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey.
This thing is now officially Jack Frost in my mind.
Some was still louder than any desert song.
Oh, look! Stuff!
The fluid foot feel of the sand dunes gave way to the hard plains of the glass valley. Spires of once superheated, now crystallized sand reached for the ever-distant sky, as if the ground itself was raising its arms in surrender to the sun. After all, if the stories were true, the sun kissed the earth in this very spot, creating the desert itself. Perhaps the spires were remnants of the sun, reaching up to the mother that had conceived and abandoned them. For the drifter, the stuff was an indicator of the halfway point, and most importantly, a source of shade. They picked a large spire to sit under after moving the large shards of glass. The solid trunk provided some reprieve from the sun. As they sat, they pulled a bandana down, allowing themselves an indulgent breath of fresh air. It warmed their lungs as if the desert itself were trying to reach into their body. A celebratory pop of the canteen signaled the next indulgence, a sip of water. The precious moisture wet their cracked lips and cooled their insides. The drifter had to restrain themselves from gulping the supply all at once.
You're a real bore, you know that?
Raising an eyebrow, the drifter wasn't sure how to acknowledge the insult. So you say.
Yeah, I do say. Most people would cross the desert for a chance to talk to a gal like me.
Oh, I misjudged this.
And here you are, not even wanting to sing along.
I didn't have the breath. The package pouted. I'm too deep in now to change the voice.
That's what I'm saying.
Better late than never, I guess. Why do I have to play 21 questions to figure out anything about you? Why even crossing this stupid desert?
The drifter sighed. That is... Crunch. Can I popcorn to you?
Sure. Something was here. Someone. Wait. The drifter hushed. Ah, phooey. You just don't want to talk to me, do you, fucko? Not now. Come on, who else is gonna talk to a dusty old fuck like you? Look at me! Please, I'm begging you to be quiet. We can talk later and... No, you always do this. You always say later, but later never comes. The cheerful demeanor of
Someday sounds a whole lot like never.
That's what I'm saying. Its tone. Ooh, wrong its, buddy. You gotta fix that. Let me put a suggestion.
Some people choose to see the violence, the disarray.
Its tone now laced with decades of frustration. If not now, when's it gonna be a good time? The drifter's heart sank to the floor. When's it gonna be too late? Steel pressed against the side of their head. Their suspicions were confirmed with the distant click of a hammer. You're back in heavy gear, partner, the bandit whispered. Gear to share? With hands raised, the drifter conceded. Take my money, I won't cause trouble. Good lad. While I'm at it, I might as well help myself, the bandit declared, as he snatched away the drifter's canteen and chugged its contents. Whatever that didn't fit in his mouth was spat onto their hair, dripping water into their eyes. For a humiliating second, they considered extending their tongue to save a minuscule amount of spit-laden water. The drifter said nothing. Fucking hell, you said you had money. What is this shit? A frustrated man complained as he rummaged through a limp coin pouch and moved on to the bag. You got nothing of value on you? What about me? Am I valuable? The package spoke. As if on cue, the bandit turned to face it. Hell is this thing? The drifter's eyes widened. Carefully, like disarming an explosive, they undid the wrappings, taking a regretful look inside. He stepped back in shock, face twisting into disgust. What in God's name, crack! He didn't have a chance to process what he saw as he fell face first into the sand, dripping blood from his temple. The drifter stood over the scum, rock in hand. He raised his arms, pointing the sharp end down like a guillotine. They would have smashed his head into pieces. They wanted to. They so desperately wanted to. They looked at the package. It looked back. The rock fell to the ground harmlessly. The hands that held it shook. Slowly, they stepped away from the sin they were just about to commit, redoing the wrappings on the package. Their breathing was ragged and shallow, yet they couldn't rest. The sounds of the desert gave way to the hum of distant engines. That scum was not alone. Wow, looks like more trouble, the package chirped. Pick up the pace, fucko! While it was stating the obvious, it was right. The drifter weaved through the forest of glass, making sure none of the vehicles could follow them. Each step was pressed down by bags they carried. Each sharp turn was an exercise in balance. They had to shed weight if they wanted to survive. Tent, the stars would do. Sleeping bag, the sands are soft enough. Fire starters, the sun is hot enough. Ooh, that's stupid as fuck. Rations, I'll find more. Stupid. The package? No. Better to be dead with purpose than to live without. The increasing ease of each step was made painful by the knowledge of abandoning their supplies. Despite this, they dared not look back, not willing to pause for even a moment. They ran and ran, past the glass spires, back into the desert, away from death, and back into its jaws. The howling of the winds did little to ease the agony with which was the burning of the sun. Hot air snuck into the crevices of the drifter's clothes, signaling the beginning of a dust storm. How long had they been running for? It was hard to tell. The compass showed them a direction, and they had stopped counting steps a long time ago. In spite of it all, they had to keep moving, at the expense of their aching legs and exhausted lungs. Each step was only more torturous than the last, the sensation akin to knives shooting up from the ankles into the knees. The spirit was willing until their knees lacked the strength to keep them standing. They tried, they very much tried, but the warm embrace of the sand sapped every last bit of will. The desert was hungry. They could feel themselves falling, sinking deeper into the sand, joining with it. They wanted to let go. Get up! The drifter's eyes stirred. Get up! They were face to face with the package. I said get up, fucko! What, gonna lay there and die? Could have done that back home, so I come out all the way here to keel over, huh? Why? Why indeed? I made a promise. So? The package was disappointed. You gonna keep it? Get up! If they couldn't run, they would walk. If they couldn't walk, they would crawl. If they couldn't crawl, they would cut off their legs and grow new ones that could, all to deliver this damn package. That was the promise they made. They faded in and out of consciousness, body moving on pure instinct, but they moved all the same. At some point they thought they would collapse once more, but they felt something. Dry, arid wind turned into a wet, salty breeze. They were here. No longer did the sand stretch across the horizon. They ended before the bright blue shores. Oh, there needs to be a period here, fucko. Birds chirped, a rare sight to see life surviving on its own. Bushes lined the beach and white waves crashed against the shore, giving the air a salty aftertaste. The ocean fed the birds, the plants, everything the eye could see. The waves crashed in and away from the shore like the sea was breathing. This place was alive. It's why she loved it so much. It's why she wanted to be buried here. Oh no. Am I gonna be sad?
Be sad.
Should I change the voice or should it be the same? It should be the same. What's up,
maybe change it a little bit. Maybe change
a familiar voice.
Oh.
To hear her voice again was a special kind of euphoria. The kneeling drifter couldn't help but let out a single dry laugh at the thought of her presence. They would have crossed the desert just to speak to her one last time, and here she was. Hello. So what now? 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 Tomorrow? Tomorrow's tomorrow? Take your pick? The answer was obvious. They just didn't want to admit it took them so long to figure it out. Their knees were sore, but their body felt light, like a weight on their soul had been lifted. She may have been buried, but an immortal part of her will always be with them. The drifter faced the desert. Onwards. Man, that fucked me up. That was good.
That was a good one.
Yeah, no notes other than the it's and the period. I don't know, you have anything, Tan? That was pretty spot on.
I really liked a lot of the environmental description. That really...
Yeah, your fucking pros. Pop the fuck off, JT. I could learn a thing or two. Whew.
It's something I think is a very weak point for me, so I like to see it. So I like to see people who do it well.
Oh god, you should read Sobek's stuff. He's fucking brilliant. He has like the best.
We got Sobek?
Yeah, I know Sobek. He's a friend of mine. No humble brag. Oh, you missed it, Tinks. This was a really good one by JT. You also missed the JoJo Pilot one. All right, I think that's everything for WriterBot. Any closing comments, Tanhony?
Nothing I can think of. Well, I do want to show my strength. I wanted to go back to the one that I had from the table and see if I can do it without laughing properly this time. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Well, can you show me it?
Yep.
I'm just waiting for it to pop on the stream as well, so I can keep the chat.
It's there.
To show me out. Well, yeah, it can take a second because it's a few seconds behind. Okay. Fully neutral. Fully neutral. Let's do this. Action. User aims the SCP at a closed mechanical security device, such as a lock, bolt, or latch, and speaks the word open.
They forgot the sesame part.
I'm sorry?
They forgot the sesame part. Open sesame?
I see what you mean. Effect. The mechanism opens, as if it had been unlocked or otherwise opened. Electronic devices are unaffected. Action. User aims the SCP.
Hold on. Stop.
Excuse me?
Just reminding you not to laugh so you don't forget.
Of course. You interrupted me, so I'm going to begin that bit again, if that's alright.
Yeah, of course. Don't laugh!
I won't.
I'm listening closely. I can hear the fluctuations. Continue.
That's kind of weird. User aims the SCP at a human subject under the effects of a toxin and speaks the word
about
cure.
That at all.
Well, it's quite miraculous. They're being cured of any disease. Effect. Toxins disappear from the subject body, and any illness or physical damage caused by it is healed. Action. User aims the SCP at a waking human subject and speaks the word sleep. Effect. Subject immediately enters sleep, progressing through the sleep cycle as normal. Subject report no unusual effects upon waking. Action. User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word lightning. Effect. Target becomes electrified, recording approximately 10,000 amps. Action. User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word ice. Effect. Temperature of the target is like to 0 degrees Celsius.
Wait!
Due to sudden temperature change.
Wait!
Action. User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word fire. Effect. Target bursts into
Wait!
flame. Sorry?
I couldn't understand. Can you start over slower?
No, I can't.
Are you sure? I guess
can't.
you just don't respect the author's work like I do, but that's okay.
What do you mean? I said it with the utmost solemnity.
Yeah, but could you say it slower so we can understand?
Which bit?
I want you to really
particular
dig into
confused
each
me?
word and find the core of what it means. Let's start
Okay,
back with the sleep one.
Sleep one? Okay. User aims the SCP at a waking human subject. What?
Slower.
Of course.
Put a little sauce on it, why don't you?
Some sauce?
Some sauce. Hit him with the old razzle dazzle.
Of course. User aims the SCP at a waking human subject and speaks the word sleep. Subject immediately enters sleep, progressing through the sleep cycle as normal. Subjects report no unusual effects upon waking. User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word lightning. Target becomes electrified with a current of approximately 10,000 amps.
By amps?
Action.
Does she
User
mean,
aims the
like...
SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word effect. Temperature of the target is lowered to 0 degrees Celsius. Brittle materials may shatter due to sudden temperature change.
Why do you sound
Action.
like a little bit erotic?
User aims the SCP at an object or surface and speaks the word fire.
Fire.
Effect. Target bursts into flames.
It's into flame. Say it again.
I'm sorry. Target bursts into
Don't
flame.
laugh when you say it. One more time.
Target bursts into flame.
Wow. I think.
Do you want to know how I did that?
How?
I muted you.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
How did you know to repeat it?
Well, I unmuted right at the end there.
That's cheating. I had to listen
How's
to
it
your
cheating?
jabs.
Well, you simply didn't think of it.
I knew I did too many things. You should have laughed. I knew it. I knew it.
You were
Don't
like,
say
it was
only
like
tan
zooming
things.
at
This
the
is
end,
not-
like he's dancing. It's like the ultimate leap throwing rock paper scissors.
I knew it. You're not a bad reader, man. You're not.
You can see it. You can see my technique. You can't hear it. You can't hear my technique.
All right. Well, thanks for attending, everybody. We'll be doing WriterBot next year and every year. Never
Every year
hesitate.
until the end of time.
Yeah, true. So never hesitate to send something in. I had a good time with y'all. I hope I know we didn't have too much to crit. You guys have gotten a lot better over the years, to be honest. But I hope we were able to offer something to you. I hope we all had a good time, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.